Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Uh-oh, What Happened? Did I Get Scammed? Another real life example of getting scammed in the wild. No matter how safe you think you're, doing your due diligence, you go to somebody you trust like an Angie's List. And I'm not gonna trash Angie's List. That's not the point. This can happen to pretty much anybody. But the problem is, just doing one level of checking is really not enough. This is a story of a lady who lost a lot of money in a contractor scam that can literally just, it could be you, it could be your neighbor, and we want to share that and help you, not get taken advantage of. So, just to run down, this woman here in Oregon lost almost $30,000 from an Angie's List contractor that she just didn't see coming. They trusted it. They, you know, went with what they thought was a proven verification system. Um, Here's what really happened. Here's what really goes on. And if you don't be careful, this literally can be your experience. So just to get down to it, Angie shows the verification badges. She wanted some foundation work. She went in there. She looked through what Angie's List had to offer, and she thought, this is good. I'm going to pick a verified contractor. Uh, when that happened, basically three Irishmen showed up. Well, they had Irish accents. I don't know if they were really Irish, but they had Irish accents. They said they were from a company called C&K Custom Remodeling, which, I mean, these contracting companies are not necessarily creative when they come to their names, but do we need them to be? We want the work in the house, right? So basically these people showed up and they said, hey, we're gonna do this work for X amount, and then about $6,000 later, they found more problems. Then 8,000. By the end, they nickel and dimer for $29,000. Here's the twist. C&K Custom Remodeling never sent them to her house. That's right. Somebody learned how to beat the verification system. Now, C&K Custom Remodeling in Oregon has been on Angie's for years. They're a very reputable business, great reviews. They are a solid contractor, and you can trust them. The problem is the verification system that Angie used broke down. The scammers didn't create a fake business. They stole a real business's identity and impersonated them. Now, Angie's List did have a little piece in this. They actually gave the contact info for over 80 victims to this fake company. Now, this is a terrible story. The real business owner is absolutely devastated, right? They feel bad, even though it's not their fault. Um, they're going to get a lot of calls because Angie's List gave this business info to scammers. But this isn't isolated. Angie's List has paid over $7.2 million to the FTC for misleading customers about their verification process. There's been over 100,000 businesses that got refunds because Angie's List was selling fake leads or lying about their lead verification, which is, I'm in this business. I've been in this business for a long, long time. It's hard. It's hard. There's a lot of scammers out there. There's a real push for growth. But, the reason I got into ProShield and the reason I got into this business is because I'm sick of trying to sort through all those fake companies, fake leads, and I'm trying to really set up something that can actually help the industry and help people learn about what's happening and what, how to get real services. So, but this can happen. Enough about me. But, these, now that's not a lot. 100,000 businesses got refunded on Angie's List. They've been doing business a long time. They do a lot of leads. Again, every business like this is going to have problems. And this is not a slam Angie's List. This is to say that you have to be careful about anything you see, no matter how reputable you think it is. Sometimes you can get on the phone and talk to somebody or get some real human interaction to verify. You have to do multiple points of investigation, which is something we do now on our brand new site, ProShield, which is, ultimately what I'm pitching. But I want you to be informed and I want you to go out and find the right people. So if it's not us, at least do your homework. Um, you know what the real problem here is? They don't really verify the contractors, they verify listings. So what's the difference? So anybody can use a real contractor's business info and contact numbers to sign up for one of these services and become a contractor. The big problem is that during that process, they can just impersonate those people and take all that credentials from them and start getting leads and start reaching out and start representing themselves. They don't have to build up their reputation. And some of these guys might even be like legit doing work. But it happens, and you really can't get around the fact that you have to be very, very careful these days about who you trust. This lady in Oregon thought she was protected. She thought that because the verification badge told her it was safe. The real verification means you're verifying the person at your door. That means get their IDs. Business cards is great. Licensing, almost everybody has to have either a sales tax license or something with their business name on it. That's harder to come up with a fake. Um, you know, here at ProShield, basically every contractor that we refer is the actual identity. They have to upload their IDs. They can't just sign up and get leads. That's not how we do it. We're really back and forth and integrated with them very deeply. We keep track of, basically everything in the ecosystem gets tracked on their conversations and their bookings. So it's much harder for people to game that particular system. I don't put anything past a scammer, but it's harder. So, what can you do? The top three things you can do when somebody shows up at your door and you're about to pull the trigger on a quote is get physical verification of their credentials.